All right, let's get started. Welcome everyone to the Ohio Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Chelsea and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Ohio. And without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that's going to be Mercy College of Ohio.
Hi, thank you. Give me just a second to share my screen. All right, so everybody should see that. So we're Mercy College of Ohio. Welcome. And if you don't know who Mercy College is, here's just a little bit of information about who we are. We are a Catholic institution of higher education. We're founded by the Sisters of Mercy. We've been educating healthcare professionals for over 100 years. So what we specialize in is healthcare, and those are the programs that we do offer are just healthcare programs. Our focus is to provide healthcare and health science related programs, professional education programs, and other community services. If you're wondering where we're located near downtown Toledo. So we're actually uptown of downtown. We're a small private not-for-profit college. Average class size is listed there. We have just over 1,500 total students. We have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We're rooted in Catholic beliefs and values, and there's some other information for you to note. We say the Mercy difference because we offer program skills labs that have intensive training and preparation with supervision. We have built-in clinical spots due to our relationship with Bon Secours Mercy Health that offer hands-on learning experience. So we do have guaranteed clinical spots for our students. Graduates are in demand. They have excellent reputations as qualified and caring healthcare providers, and we do have healthcare facilities in the area that specifically ask for Mercy College of Ohio graduates. We do offer some certificate programs, such as the ones that are listed on your screen: community health worker, EMT, medical coding, ophthalmic assistant, paramedic, phlebotomy, polysomnographic technology. Those are just some certificate programs. We also offer associate degree programs such as associates in health sciences, health information technology, nursing, and rad tech. We also, for our nursing program for our ASN, we do have a day and an evening weekend program, which is key primarily because we're one of the only schools in the area that offer the evening weekend program. For bachelor programs, we do have a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing pre-licensure program, where we do have our direct edge program for a guaranteed clinical seat. We also offer biology that has several different pathways into other programs such as pharmacy, medicine, physical therapy, chiropractic, and others listed there. We also have some degree completion programs. So if you're wrapping up a program in an Associates of Applied Science and you're a student who's maybe looking to pathway up into a bachelor's degree, we do have RN to BSN program. We also have medical imaging bachelor's degrees and more. We also offer graduate programs such as Masters of Health Administration, PA program, and then also a Master's of Science in Nursing. We have lots of services available. We have lots of services that could be very similar to maybe what a larger school would offer, but on a much smaller scale, which seem to be a little bit more personalized. So we have things such as accessibility services. We have a clinical simulation center on our campus. We have state-of-the-art science labs. We have career services, counseling and wellness services. We don't have to pay for parking. It's included in your tuition. Library, tutoring, things like that. And as far as student life, we do have a robust student life here on the Mercy College of Ohio campus. You can become as involved in the student life as you wish. We do have professional organizations. We have student-run organizations as listed there. And then, of course, financial aid, as you've probably already heard about financial aid available. We do have, we're able to process financial aid. We have our school code listed there. And we also have some learn as you earn programs. So if you're looking to get your foot into the door of healthcare, you certainly can. You can become a student nurse. There's lots of other employment opportunities through Bon Secours Mercy Health, in which case then you would be an inside applicant when you're applying for maybe a nursing appointment or something like that when you finish your program. So it's very advantageous that we're connected to Bon Secours Mercy Health as their college. You can also go through one of our open houses. We have those available through Zoom, and the next one is in November. It's November 10th. And I can see that my time is just about up there. So I had my time ticking on my clock there. But if you have questions, I'm Andrea Schuster. There's also Miranda here who is on the call today. And thanks so much to listening about Mercy College of Ohio.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Next up, we have the University of Vermont.
All right, very cool. Thanks, Chelsea. Thanks, everybody, for being here tonight. My name is Chris Perlongo, Associate Director of Admissions at UVM. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm a first-generation college student from New York City. So let me get right at it. We'll start. I'll share my screen. Get the right one here. That's more, Chris. Perfect. All right, there it is. So now you can see my screen. We'll get right in. So for us, basically, at UVM, we have been around since 1791. We're actually the fifth oldest institution in New England, next to Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, and Brown. So good company to be in, but we've been around for quite some time. We are classified as a land-grant research institution. And what that basically means is we have students from all over the state of Vermont with a responsibility for the state of Vermont. Essentially, we have research stations throughout the state, research vessel on Lake Champlain, and students who are doing a lot of work with us throughout the state. Research facilities all over as well, with over about half of our students, 40% of our students do research throughout the state, with over $250,000 set aside for research. We have about 10,000 undergraduates, and unlike most state institutions, for us, we're a bit different. And most of our students actually come from outside the state of Vermont. So it's nothing against our Vermonters, there just aren't as many of them. So for us, we draw students from over the country. We're actually just welcomed in our biggest class in our history with 3,000 undergraduate students coming from 48 different states and 21 different countries. And as you can see from the slide before you, we offer 100 different majors and 7 undergraduate schools and colleges, as well as an honors college, graduate college, and college of medicine. Also, students can pursue up to 40 different accelerated bachelor's, master's options, ranging from public health to complex systems and data science. Now for us, what makes us different, what's excited? For us, it's our unique academic ecosystem, the combination of all things UVM, the campus, the lake, the mountains, and the city of Burlington, which you see behind me in my background. We have the best of both worlds here. And I know it's very cliche, but it's so true being right here in Burlington, Vermont, with amazing access to the outdoors, but also having downtown Burlington, just about 3 blocks from campus. We also offer 100 different service learning courses. We're one of the top Peace Corps producing schools in the country. I think we were number 7 last year. 250 clubs and organizations, 18 Division I sports, close to 10,000 different internships, more than 70 different study abroad opportunities. And we just found out we're going back abroad again this spring. So we cannot wait. We're super excited. And over 100,000 alumni throughout the world. So the whole idea is not what you know, it's who you know. It's very true at UVM. And they make connections and plenty of ways for students to find community the moment they arrive on campus. And of course, it's the Burlington community where you live and learn. And for us, that basically means internships, research, and practical experience. So students can do research on Lake Champlain or go for a run along the 22-mile bike path that runs alongside of it. The Green Mountains offer some of the best hiking and skiing on the East Coast, and are home to UVM field research stations around the state. These include Mount Mansfield, the highest peak in Vermont, and our own student-run dairy herd, the Cream Dairy Facility, where the milk from the cows actually is the milk in our ice cream that's served on campus. This is phenomenal. With all due respect to Ben and Jerry, we got some pretty good stuff going on here too. And as mentioned, we have our 40-foot research vessel docked steps away on Lake Champlain. Also, things to point out, our students are engaged and they want to make a difference. UVM recently made the decision to fully divest from fossil fuels, and more than 28% of the food served on campus comes from local farmers. Every student who arrives at UVM signs a common ground pledge, and that's a commitment to the values of respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility. We were the first institution to declare public support for freedom of religion, and the first to admit women and African Americans to the Phi Beta Kappa Honor Society. Every student on our campus we want to find community as soon as they arrive, people to find their people. And there's a variety of ways to do so. Among our various campus identity centers include our Mosaic Center for Students of Color, our Prism Center for students who identify as LGBTQA+, our Interfaith Center for students who want to practice their spirituality, and we have all sorts of denominations on campus and the Burlington community, and our Women and Gender Equity Center, among many others here. And every student who comes to UVM will take coursework in diversity, sustainability, quantitative reasoning, foundational writing, and informational literacy. Just because we feel that in order to be an inclusive campus, that's to be an educated campus. Because we want students to come here and feel not only that they're able to voice their opinion, and we want that diversity of opinion. We think it's important in our admissions process to have a variety of perspectives and backgrounds and identities, but to do so in a respectful way. Speaking of community, our housing on campus works as such. We actually require that students stay on campus the first 2 years you're here. So essentially you'll live in one of our living learning communities here at UVM that are based on theme. So it's not so much where you're from or what your major is, it's what you're into. So for us, essentially, we have different programs in arts and creativity, leadership, and our wellness environment. We see the guys doing the yoga pose on the side, right? And that's the idea about healthy body, healthy mind. So for us, on-campus housing the first 2 years while you're here, and then after that, students can and do move off, with Burlington being only steps away. Lastly, speaking of Burlington, yeah, it's a pretty amazing place, as you see there. It offers all sorts of opportunities from internships to volunteer opportunities, and with Church Street just steps away, food, coffee, and shopping. And we benefit from internships in business, tech, and various other different fields. So our students are able to get involved early on and often. We think for us, it's really important. We are on the best list of many college towns and quality of life as well. Location-wise, we're about 5 hours from New York City and about 3.5 from Boston. And for those coming from further away, like you folks tonight, Burlington International Airport is about 3 miles from campus with direct flights from all over the country. And also an important note, you can do a study abroad a weekend at UVM. Montreal is just about 90 minutes away, easily accessible from just about anywhere. And lastly, for our admissions process, when students apply to UVM, you'll apply directly to one of our 7 different schools and colleges, either with an academic major or as undeclared. And Chelsea, I assume we're running out of time, so you see the stats there. We are going to be test optional for this year and next year as well. And we do have our 5 optional essays, including our Ben and Jerry's essay, which asks you to name a flavor of ice cream that best represents you and then tell us why. So we highly suggest you doing it. And we hope you apply, and we look forward to your application. Thanks for being here tonight. And Chelsea, I'll turn it over back to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Alrighty, next up we have Virginia Tech.
Alrighty, hopefully you can see that, see my screen. Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Wertman and I am an admissions counselor for the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Virginia Tech. So go through the slides here, talking about Virginia Tech. So if you don't know where Virginia Tech is located, we are located in the town of Blacksburg, Virginia. So you see the yellow pin there showing where we are in Virginia. So in the southwest region of Virginia, surrounded by the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains, nestled right in the New River Valley. So definitely a very beautiful place for sure. If you haven't been, I definitely recommend that you visit. Virginia Tech has about 37,000 total students at the university, 30,000 of which are undergraduate. And so I like to say that Blacksburg is a true college town. So putting that to perspective, Blacksburg only has a population of about 10,000. So very much centered around the university. We have a motto at Virginia Tech. Our motto is Ut Prosim, which is Latin for that I may serve. And so we are really big on service and serving our community, serving our campus, even serving nationally, even globally. So there are definitely many ways in which students can serve. We were founded in 1872 as a land grant research institution. So our mission as a university is to serve wherever and however we can through education. One of the ways that which students can serve is through our Corps of Cadets. So we are one of 6 senior military institutions in the country to have a Corps of Cadets. So very proud of that. Of course, we have over 900 clubs and organizations at the university that students can get involved in. So you might be able to serve in that capacity or even serve through academics, so maybe through research. So definitely a lot of opportunities at Virginia Tech. So here is our list of all of our colleges at the university. We have over 120 different majors to choose from within 7 of our colleges. So definitely take some time into looking at the different options of majors on our website by going to vt.edu. So definitely a lot of information there. If you haven't already, please do apply. We offer 2 ways to apply, first being the Coalition and the second being the Common App. We don't have a preference of which of the 2 that you use to apply. We just ask that you choose one and just stick with it. We also ask that you use your personal email and not your school email, just because high schools tend to discontinue that email after graduation. So at Virginia Tech, we do what's called a holistic review. So we're looking at both your academic side of the application as well as the personal side of the application. One thing to note for this year, we are test optional for this year. So any seniors, you do have the option of submitting any SAT or ACT scores. Here is a list of all of our dates and deadlines for applying. So we have early decision, early action, and regular decision, as well as the spring and summer and fall transfer dates. So going back up to the top, so early decision is our binding application. So basically what this means is that you are committed to coming to Virginia Tech. This one might be the better option for you, and therefore the application deadline is November 1st. Second, we have early action. This is our non-binding application. So maybe you're waiting to hear back from other colleges and universities' decisions, then this one is the better option for you. The application deadline for that is December 1st. And then lastly, we have regular decision. Application deadline for that is January 15th. This one is space limited. So after we go through the early decision and the early action applications, then whatever is left, we'll pull out of the regular decision. So just keep that in mind. Here is our cost broken down into in-state versus out-of-state, tuition and fees, room and board. All first-year students are required to live on campus during their first year. We'll have a roommate, and also first-year students are allowed to have a car their first year. So that's something pretty cool. We do offer university scholarships and financial aid at the university. So first you will need to fill out the FAFSA. Even if you don't think that you'll qualify for any aid, still go ahead and fill out the FAFSA because you just never know. So fill out the FAFSA and then fill out the general scholarship application. And that deadline is due January 22nd. So definitely get that in, the sooner the better. That general scholarship application is separate from the FAFSA and separate from the admissions application. So here is our return on investment. So 86% graduation rate, which compared to the national average of about 62%. 82% of our students who graduate within 6 months of graduation are going to pursue further education. So maybe getting their master's or even doctorate degrees, or going into the workforce. So those that do go into the workforce, they're receiving a median starting salary of around $64,000 a year. We do have over a 90% retention rate. So students are coming back after their first year. So, they really enjoy Virginia Tech, really enjoy the community. It feels like home. So that's really good to know that students are coming back after their first year. And then lastly, if you haven't already, please follow us on social media. We have all of these social media platforms. We have some giveaways that happen on our social media. We do have a podcast. It's called Admissions Accomplished. So all things Virginia Tech, all things admissions related. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to the undergraduate office at Virginia Tech. We do have the contact there. Or you can reach out to me. My name is Tyler Wertman. I am an admissions counselor. So feel free to explore our website, vt.edu, with information. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. I'm going to pass it off to Pace University next.
Hi, everybody. My name is Megan Mummy, and I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at PACE on our New York City campus. So hold on one second. All right, so PACE University is a private university located in New York. And at PACE, we are really focused on the customized individual education experience that all our students will receive while at the university. We created a program to actually add some structure around this, and the program is called the PACE Path. So this is combining your on-campus education with the majors and minors that you're involved in, getting you involved in research, maybe internships, maybe getting connected with mentors and advisors. If you want to study abroad, that can be a part of your PACE Path. Same if you would like to volunteer. Everything that you do will be unique to you and add to your overall experience at PACE. So by the time you graduate, you are career ready and you are ready to go on and start your first job. I do want to first talk about the academic side. So at Pace University, we have 6 different undergraduate schools. So we have our College of Health Professions, which has a nursing major that is direct admit, as well as a health science major. Our Dyson College has everything from psychology to biology, and also our School of Performing Arts. We do have a law school that's actually at the graduate level. So if law school is a goal for you, there is a 3+3 program. Our Lubin School of Business is AACSB accredited and has everything from accounting to management to marketing to finance. School of Education has early childhood, and adolescent education. And we do also have the 5-year combined degrees there. And our Seidenberg School has computer science, information systems, and information technology. With the exception of performing arts, because there are a different process that you'll have to go through with an online pre-screen and then an in-person audition, and the nursing program, because there's a few extra requirements there. All of the admission criteria for the other majors are the same. So that's really, really important. If you know what you want to do, that's great. But if you're not totally sure, don't worry about it. You can apply, you can be admitted to the university. And if you change your mind, whether it's before you start or after you're at the university, you have the flexibility to move into another program at Pace. You're also able to double major or do a major and a minor, even if the academic school that you originally start in is not in the school where you would want to do your secondary program. Also, something I want to highlight on the academic side is that at Pace, we do have 8,000 students between our 2 campuses, but our average class size is about 20 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 14:1. So at Pace, you are not going to be in these huge stadium-style lecture halls. You are going to have small classes so you can make connections. Career Services is also really strong at Pace, and you'll be able to work with them really starting your first day, and they'll help you every step of the way with interview prep, resume prep, what to say, what to wear, all of that. In New York, there are a ton of Fortune 500 companies, and students are able to apply for internships every semester. Last year, our 8,000 students actually completed close to 9,000 internships. And that included both in-person internships, virtual, clinicals, on-campus research. There were so many different things. So whatever you're looking to specialize in, internships are a great way to go out there, get your feet wet, and see if that's really what you would like to do once you graduate. 90% of our students are employed or continuing their graduation or continuing their education within 6 months of graduation. So regardless of where you go, definitely make sure you take advantage of those internship opportunities. Moving on to the campus locations. So at Pace, there are 2 campuses, like I said earlier. Our first campus I'm going to touch on is the New York City campus. So we are in Manhattan, right downtown, right by the Brooklyn Bridge and City Hall. Our New York City campus is the larger of the 2 in regards to student size. We have about 5,000 or a little over 5,000 students. It is a very non-traditional campus because we are in the city, so very, very vertical. When you're moving between classes, you're likely to be moving between floors versus moving between different buildings. In regards to our campus size physically, everything is located within a 5-block radius from our main building, and that does include 4 different residence halls. At Pace, we are able to guarantee housing for all 4 years, but we do not require it. So if you would like to live on campus, that's great. But if you would like to live off campus, that is fine as well. On the flip side, we do have a campus in Westchester, New York. If you're not familiar, it is about 45 minutes outside of New York City. So it's a very, very traditional campus. We have a 200-acre campus with a little under 3,000 undergraduate students. There are nature trails, we have an environmental center, we have a pond, we have Division II athletics on this campus, and we do also have 5 residence halls, and housing is also guaranteed for all 4 years up in Westchester. There is a shuttle that runs back and forth between the campuses a few times a day. So if you would like to be a Pace New York City student, but take a class or go hiking or something on the other campus, you're more than welcome to do that. And vice versa, if you would like to be on in a traditional campus setting in your day-to-day life, but would like to pop into the city to take a class or see a show, you are more than welcome to take advantage of that shuttle system. In regards to the application process, there are a few things that we will need to review you for admission. First of all, there's the application itself. We are a member of the Common Application, and we do also have the PACE application. You can submit either or, totally up to you. We'll need your transcripts, letters of recommendation, your essay or personal statement, and then we If you would like to submit SATs or ACTs, you can, but we are test optional. Here are our deadlines. I see I'm running out of time. Also, all students that apply to PACE will be automatically considered for a merit scholarship, but you are also able to submit the FAFSA for need-based aid consideration. And all students that submit the FAFSA by December 1st will automatically receive an additional $1,000 scholarship stacked on top of their merit. And this is my information, so please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Alrighty, I'm going to pass it off to Binghamton University.
Excellent. Hi, everyone. My name is Michaela Ridley. I use she and her pronouns. I am one of our admissions counselors with Binghamton, and I'm just going to go through some of the basics about Binghamton, especially if you're not that familiar with our campus. So first thing to know about Binghamton is really one of the most basic things about us, and that is that we are the #1 public university in the state of New York. If you don't know where we are located, as New York is definitely a pretty large state, we are right where that black dot is. So we're kind of ideally located. We are within 3 to 5 hours of basically every major metropolitan area in the Northeast, which is great for our students for post-grad jobs, for graduate school, for summer internship opportunities, fun weekends in NYC, spring break in Montreal, whatever you want to do. It's really fun for our students to kind of be in that heart of the Northeast. At Binghamton, we do have over 130 different academic programs to choose from, and those are spread out over our 6 different colleges, 6 different schools within the university. In the interest of time, I won't go through each of these 6 schools. The main thing I do like to note, since we get this question a lot, is that our nursing program in the Decker College of Nursing and Health Sciences is a direct entry program. We also do have over 50 opportunities for accelerated degrees at Binghamton, the ability to get both your bachelor's and your master's together in 5 years as opposed to the typical 6, which is a great way to save you some time and money and get you out into your career field with an even higher degree from the start. One of the things we talk about at Binghamton is the Binghamton Impact. The Binghamton Impact is really the hands-on learning experiences that all of our students are going to get in every major throughout the university. So you're going to have a lot of hands-on learning in the classroom, but outside of the classroom, we also have research available in every single major on campus because we are a Tier 1 research university. So we're basically doing the highest level of research that a university can do. And we also have a ton of opportunities for internships and service learning. These are great ways not only to build your resume and get some experience that you can talk about in interviews, but they also help you get a good sense of what do you actually enjoy doing? How do you want to take your academic interests and turn that into a lucrative career post-grad? They give you the ability to kind of dip your feet in the water in a very safe environment without having to commit too heavily to one career and allow you to really explore your options. Last thing I like to highlight on this slide is our Education Abroad program. This is one of the huge benefits of being part of the State University of New York system. We partner with all 64 colleges in that system and share our study abroad programs with them. So Binghamton students can go on any SUNY Schools program and credits will transfer back in the same way. Ultimately, it gives you access to over 1,000 programs in over 100 different countries. As far as student life on campus, Binghamton has over 450 student clubs and organizations to choose from, everything from a cappella groups and DJ groups and dance teams to mock trial and speech and debate and Model UN, community service organizations, Greek life, anything you can think of on campus. We do probably have it, but it's also very easy to add new student groups and organizations to campus. We also have over 21 Division I sports teams and about 40 club and intramural sports teams. So tons of different ways for our students to stay active on campus as well. In the Binghamton area, we really have the best of both worlds in the Binghamton area. We are a city, so we do have professional sports teams. We have a zoo. We have a huge food and art scene downtown. We are also the carousel capital of the world with 6 of the world's remaining antique carousels. I think that's cool. I'm a nerd. You don't have to agree with me on that one. But we do have a really cool food and art scene downtown. Our Luma Festival in that bottom right corner is the largest projection arts festival in the country. It happens every September, the first full weekend of September, and it's laser light shows that are projected onto the faces of historic buildings downtown. So it's just really fun festival with live music, great food, tons of fun things for our students to do to kind of explore the city. So our students get those city offerings in Binghamton, but it is a smaller city, so we do have more of that suburban pace of life as well, and that's how they kind of get that best of both worlds. Last thing I really like to highlight about Binghamton is our value. This is something that Binghamton is exceptionally well known for. We are considered a premier public university. As I said, we are the #1 public university in the state of New York. We're considered a public Ivy, and a lot of that really comes down to this value piece. Our sticker price for the university is going to start about $30,000 cheaper than your average private university. And then we do have both need and merit-based aid. Merit-based aid is easy to apply for. By applying to the university, you are automatically considered for all the scholarships we have. And both that need and merit-based aid can bring that price down even further. So we are really known for being able to provide the same quality of education that you would see at elite private schools, but being able to provide that for a much, much more affordable price. And our graduates from Binghamton will typically see higher than average starting salaries in their field, which means that that ROI for the university is known for being incredibly high. Thank you so much for listening. I know this was a very short presentation, so if you do have any follow-up questions, please feel free to post them in the Q&A. I will also put all my contact information in the chat for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And next up, we have Sacred Heart University.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Sarah Koloski. I am the Regional Director of Admissions for Sacred Heart University. If you find Sacred Heart on your list down the line, I will be your direct point of contact, and my contact information is going to be listed on this first page. To give you an overview, Sacred Heart is a mid-sized Catholic university. We are in Fairfield, Connecticut. We're just an hour and a half outside of New York City and about 2.5 hours to Boston. So quintessential New England college town. We're 20 minutes away from the ocean, 20 minutes away from hiking, historical sites. And then as you can see, we're near all major airports and in the third most concentrated area of Fortune 500 companies. So those internships are readily available for our students. All of our majors require at least 1 to graduate. We're affiliated with 4 hospitals in the area for our direct entry nursing clinical program. So students kind of looking for those opportunities, we have those connections readily awaiting. And we're sort of a hybrid of liberal arts meets career education. So our students mostly do come in undecided. We have over 60 majors to choose from. And if you did wait until sophomore year to declare, we actually would partner you with our Discover You program. So this partners you with a career advisor, helping you kind of navigate what you're looking for after college. And we do also offer 40 graduate programs as well. And we're seeing about 40% come back to a Sacred Heart grad program after they complete their time here, just because they do get that priority consideration. Some of those grad programs can turn into assistantship, so paying those master's years forward. So we're often thinking about your 5- and 6-year plan, especially with a lot of programs these days requiring those higher learning and postgraduate studies beyond your bachelor's. We are a Catholic institution, but we did become independent from the church shortly after our founding. We wanted to have the autonomy with the curriculum, so we wanted to be able to allow students to have their own relationship with spirituality and religiosity. So our campus ministry is actually run by a priest, rabbi, and imam. They're really opening those conversations around dialogue within the church and within current events, rather than just teaching those doctrinal traits. We do have traditional mass every day. We do have all of those practices you can continue, but everything is going to be completely optional. I would say the big takeaway from our commitment to the faith is our commitment to community service. We have over 100,000 hours of service completed every year on our campus, and Habitat for Humanity is our largest student club. So virtually everyone's involved in some aspect of service. There are scholarships available, and there are a lot of opportunities to travel both locally and globally for the service learning trips, including one of our longest standing relationships in El Salvador with sister cities. We do send students down there annually to help with the work. We're really in a pivotal growth phase right now. As I kind of mentioned, we're top in state, top 5 in New England for all of our health profession programs. We have high success rates on all of those placement exams after you do complete your time as an undergrad. But we're growing in a lot of other areas too. We're top 20 in the country for performing arts. We do have a direct connection to Broadway, top 20 in the country for our community service, as I mentioned, and game design. So we're really trying to branch out into some of these more unique, innovative majors, and also offering that job placement rate as well. We have a 99% job placement rate within 6 months to a year of graduating, and students are usually turning those respective internships into full-time positions. In the last 6 years, we've had 18 new buildings constructed on campus, so it looks even completely different than it did 2 years ago. We're growing in a lot of areas. We're adding more dormitories. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years. We do have a 2-year residency requirement for our students. We have new dining halls on campus. We acquired a community theater in downtown Fairfield, new athletic centers. Something that's not on here, we actually broke ground on our ice hockey arena, which will be complete in 2023 to further our growth in our varsity and club ice hockey programs and club and synchronized figure skating. We are Division I for athletics. We have 33 varsity sports and we have 30 club sports. So there's a lot to get involved in. And then finally, we did acquire GE's former headquarters. That is now home to our College of Business and Technology. So my undecided engineers have the opportunity to work with an 11,000 square foot makerspace, AI labs, game design labs, computer science labs, and more. So if you are looking for those non-impacted majors, this is a great place to kind of consider and have that exploration and that breadth of knowledge across the board. And finally, I just want to leave you with our admissions process. It is pretty straightforward. Students who do apply are pretty self-selecting. They find a fit, whether they're looking to go to school closer in the mid-Atlantic Northeast area, a major, or sports or something like that. So we just ask for the common application, your transcript, and a letter of recommendation. I do encourage you, if you can, either visit or interview with me, since I will be the one reading your application. We are test optional. We will continue to be test optional since we have been for about 15 years. So if you're kind of at around these ranges of scores on the slide here, I would send them. They're going to be a little bit higher for our direct entry nursing program, but we see about 50% report. So we'd rather have that personalized piece to add to your application, whether you visit or be in touch with me. All students are automatically considered for merit scholarships. We do have additional stackable scholarships, including performing arts, community service, our honors program that also has priority housing. So have any other questions about that, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much for your time.
Awesome. Thanks so much for that. At this point, I'm going to invite everyone back on screen. We're going to do a quick question and answer so you can hear from everybody one more time. Alrighty. So I'm going to start back with Mercy College of Ohio. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
The first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking about this question is to ask lots of questions. Definitely make sure that you ask lots of questions. You can prepare a list of questions before you meet with an admissions officer or admissions counselor. It's good to think about the things that you're interested in and make sure that you're matching yourself to the school that's going to best fit your needs. And you're not gonna be able to do that unless you ask a lot of questions. We all have wonderful things to tell you about our schools, but you need to find the school that you feel like you're going to be successful and that you're going to continue to attend, right? So, and doing that, you'll need to ask a lot of questions. So questions about tuitions, questions about scholarships, deadlines, test optional, all those questions are good ones. And I would say, just make sure that you don't feel afraid about asking, because we're here to answer them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. University of Vermont, what advice would you give?
Andrea took my answer. That was perfect. Yes, I would say don't ask questions. That's great advice. Yes, don't be afraid to ask questions. There's no such thing as a bad one. It's really important. I would say for us, the biggest piece of advice I can offer is engage, interact with us. So not just asking questions, but also attending our information sessions, just like you're doing tonight. There is the idea of demonstrated interest. Some schools will really account for it, some won't at all. Most of us are somewhere in between, usually on the margins in terms of our application process. So it not only helps us, but helps you. As colleges are getting more and more applications every year and seeing numbers increase, it's hard for us to determine who's really interested in us and who's just checking a box, right? So I would say if you get a chance, much to the point made, ask a question, reach out, attend an event, whether it's in person or online, and don't hesitate to shoot your counselor an email, maybe after you apply or after you visit a campus. Just a quick note saying, hey, Chris, use at UVM. It was awesome. Just want to check in and say hello. No need to overdo it. It's always nice to have a name or a connection with the person behind the application. So don't be afraid to engage. And like I said, that's to the point my colleague just made. That's what we were here for. It's our job. You're not bothering us. So my advice. Chelsea, back to you.
Thanks so much. All right, Virginia Tech, what is your advice?
Yeah, I lift up what has already been said, but I'll just add that, just keep your options open, have an open mind, explore your many options to choose from. If you can, definitely visit the campuses that you are interested in, just to see that, make sure that it is the right fit for you. So just really keep your options open, and again, explore different campuses as much as possible to make sure that it is the right fit.
Awesome. Thanks. Pace University, what is your advice?
I would say take advantage of the resources that you have through online systems. So at Pace, once you apply, you have access to your online dashboard and you can check the status of your application. So you know if you're incomplete, who you need to follow up with. You will see our contact information for your specific admissions counselor. And then you'll also get your decision right through that portal at Pace. So getting that set up ahead of time. So when you get the notification email that your decision is ready, you could just pop online, log right in, and you don't have to worry about setting up that account to then get in and get that decision.
Awesome. Thanks. Binghamton University, what is your advice?
Yeah, I would say that you can and should really care about the fit of a college. Things like the location, the setting, the size, the clubs and organizations that they have. I used to work on the other side of the desk, and a lot of students would say like, oh, I don't really care about that stuff. I just want a good education. But the number of colleges that will provide a good education and a good academic fit for you, probably still like 300 plus colleges. So you really do want to narrow it down significantly more from there. So it is okay to care about those factors that might seem trivial, but are ultimately going to have a huge impact on your experience in college.
Absolutely. Thank you. Alrighty, and Sacred Heart, what is your advice?
Yeah, just to close it out, my advice is kind of twofold in bookends, the start and end of the college process. So I would start, if you haven't already done so, I would make a separate email account just specifically for college admissions recruiting. Make it something simple like your name, your graduation year @gmail.com. And that way, so you're not bombarding your own personal inbox, give yourself the space to separate admissions from your own personal life so it doesn't consume it, because it is going to be essentially another class throughout your senior year. And as you can see here, we're all humans, we're all counselors first. So please, if you are no longer interested, kindly unsubscribe. It is something, it'll do us the due diligence on both ends. We have, again, our own enrollment goals, and we want to identify fit just as much as you do. And we're not going to be offended if you're no longer interested. We only want the best for you guys. So please do that for us as well. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Okay, and with that, I'm going to wrap things up. So a big thank you to our presenters for your time this evening and all of the information you provided. And thank you to our participants for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a quick survey. If you don't mind providing some feedback, we would really appreciate it. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions. And if there's one that you missed or there's one you want to go back to, you'll be able to find all of the recordings at strivescan.com/Ohio. So thanks again. We really appreciate you being here, and have a great night.